So this is my first time here in London. Thank you to the Congress Committee, ZGFE, for giving me the honor to speak here today, here at the Guildhall. It's been a pleasure not only reconnecting with my old friends, but also my dad's cousins, best friends, Barbara, second floor, his daughter, Dinaz, who's sitting on this table number 2. I have a long list to go through still. Anyways, I'll get to my speech. So after attending the last LA Youth Congress that happened in 2019, those who were there, please make some noise. I felt alive, and I know if you were there, our community also felt alive. It was a great work on the global scale, and a lot of good conversations came out of this Congress. Then a few weeks passed, and I was back in Toronto. Still feeling alive, but when I came back to my local Darbarmere at the ZSO, I struggled to see where I fit in. I had grown out of the religion classes and the occasional events that had no jazz and excitement to them. I had the opportunity to chair the then inactive youth committee thanks to Zamyad Merji. You know, I did this to try. I did this to try to bring that jazz and excitement back to our community, which I knew was very much possible. There were many young Zoroastrians in our city, probably like 500 to 1,000, but they were just hiding somewhere and had no strong reason to come out and socialize at the government, right? There was a hall, a sound system, good people who wanted the next generation to rise and get things going. And let me tell you, starting the youth committee was hard. There was really no youth to be found. Just those in my family and those in my contact list. With whoever I could beg to come on board, we got things going. Starting very small but consistent. We had a few events and we saw some momentum. We had some sports nights. We had some dances. And then we all got hit by COVID. There was no events for 3 to 4 months. There's just online events, but who wants to go to online events, right? But anyways, we still had them. We were like, let's see what happens. I know there's no appetite, but let's see what happens. And what we saw was really magical. Not only were people joining from Toronto, but because of our really small social media presence, maybe 200, 300 followers, we saw people who joined from all around the world, especially North America, but even India and Europe joining our online events. For 2 years, we hosted several online events with big numbers. Many people turned to their community for that social connections. I'm sure many of you guys did. We even had weekly yoga nights for everyone to stay active and feel a part of something beautiful. Some of these online events had 10 people show up. Some of them had 120 people show up. Slowly, after being very consistent in running events, we saw people show up to our events in person. Now much more excited, and our social media presence also got many more new faces to show up at our government. I met someone who was following our Instagram when he was living in India, and now he was calling Toronto home. He was excited to come to anything we were hosting as a youth committee, anything. These people, they inspired our committee. We were trying to make friends. We were just trying to have fun. And in return, we were giving the Zoroastrians a safe place to fit in and enjoy themselves, especially those in their 20s and 30s, because we knew that crowd the best. Eventually, after 4 years, we held an event that brought together over 100 youth to our Darbarmere, which was something our community was blown away by. But this was just a result of us being consistent and pushing through the tougher times. And today, I see a hall filled with our youth leaders of tomorrow, and those who will be there to support the youth leaders of tomorrow. When we as youth think big, we will be met with resistance, of course. And that's for many different reasons. I proposed to arrange a youth outdoor camp to the ZSO, and people have had trouble, and I have had trouble, coming up with a solid proposition for them to agree. I'm telling them that we'll be in the jungle and having bonfires and sleeping in tents for 3 days. No wonder they think it's not possible and too dangerous to run. Often the weird ideas are the best ones. And everyone wants us to win as youth. I'm working together with the elders to see where we might have blind spots and how we can collaborate for next year's camp. Until then, I've been running them privately, and still they've turned out to be enjoyable, and it still brings 30 to 40 youth together to enjoy a weekend outdoors. The elders, they know that the future of our community relies on the next generation of leaders. Clearly, by these past few speeches, it's very clear. So be curious. Talk to those who've been involved for years and work alongside with them to bounce ideas and gather that necessary advice and resources that are abundant. We all know that. Then make your own judgment calls. That's really important because us as youth, we know what other youths are interested in. We know what brings people out, what's going to bring someone to an online event. Us as youth, we know, and what's going to keep them from coming back. Just don't doubt yourself because you're a youth. That's a very big advantage. In the beginning, taking small steps were important. It was important to know how to deal with all kinds of people. But if you don't like hosting events like I've been doing, feel free to indulge in whatever you're passionate about. You love photography? Maybe start an Instagram page to showcase the beauty of Zoroastrians. Start an Instagram page to showcase the beauty of Zoroastrians. By photographing every single Zoroastrian you meet, and just post it on Instagram. And there's a whole Instagram page with all Zoroastrians. Like, who wouldn't love that? I know I would. Start a laughing yoga session every month at your community center. Do a 10-minute podcast with every single Zoroastrian in your city. Or not even in your city, every Zoroastrian you ever meet. In person or online, whatever you want, if that's what you like. Farzad from Michigan is leading a fitness group chat on WhatsApp where he posts weekly challenges and people love to participate. Not only from his city, but from around the world. I'm in this group chat. He motivates me to work out every day. I only work out like 3 times a week, but he motivates me to work out every day because he loves to work out every day. And this is something, like Michigan doesn't have a big population, but he doesn't look at that. He looks at the potential that technology brings. Us as youth, we know how we can use technology better than anybody. So yeah, shout out to Farzad, please. So whatever you're passionate about, the community is here to support you. It's hard to know everything all at once, and the only way to bring the community together is to get the people together. Think communally. We might be trained to think for ourselves. But talk to people. Credible people who've done things. It's like if you want to start a company, talk to a CEO, not an employee. If you want to restart the local choir, talk to the past conductor and see what went wrong. And then talk to your choir and see what do you want? What's going to keep you engaged? Think long term. It takes years to get real momentum going, especially when everyone's volunteering. It's really important to know that. Everyone is volunteering, so it takes years. So have fun while you're at it. Do what interests you, and the help of the community will make it so easy. Restart the choir. Take photos. Go camping. Whatever makes you happy. This youth congress is the time to soak it all in. Make your connections, and then think about what you can do to leave your mark on the next generation. Thank you.
Thank you.